I was on the blasting team, so we would get in a big steel cage and go underground about 2,000 feet and find where you were going to go to work, and then we would load up the holes with powder, and then that night they would blow them up. We'd do it all over.
So you weren't there when they blew it up?
No, we weren't there.
You just did the dangerous part.
We did. It was a terrible job.
Welcome to You Belong, the podcast where stories come to life, hosted by Pastor Nate. In each episode, we'll learn that every name has a story, and every story matters to God. So let's journey together and discover the stories that unite us all. This is You Belong.
All right, well, I am glad I got my friends Justin and Hal Summers with us today on the podcast. Let's get right to it. Why don't you tell us where you came from and where did you go? And we'll start with Hal.
All right.
Yes, you tell us.
Okay. Well, I'm from Miramichi. I grew up here, spent my whole life here. I lived up in the Littleton area as a kid, and then of course moved into the big city later.
The fourth largest city in New Brunswick.
Exactly.
Great.
And I started off my career when I got out of high school. I was a bricklayer. I did that for a while. A little trivia for you. I actually built the tower here, the bell tower.
You built that
Swear.
at the church here.
True story.
Who'd you build that with? Just yourself?
No, I had a partner. Kim Mutz was my partner, and then there was an older guy that worked with us. Bill Matchett was his name.
There's a lot of Matchets around.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I worked at the mines for about a year or so.
What does that look like? You're like working in the mines. When I think mine, I think like Minecraft, or you're making like random stuff. Like what do you mean?
We're like, it was a drilling, and it was an iron ore mine, so they drilled and blasted. So I was on the blasting team. So we would get in a big steel cage and go underground about 2,000 feet and find where you were going to go to work, and then we would load up the holes with powder, and then that night they would blow them up. We'd do it all over.
So you weren't there when they blew it up?
No, we weren't there.
You did the dangerous part.
We did. It was a terrible job.
It sounds off. So like you're in a cage, and being like an elevator.
Yeah, it's like a big steel cage, like an elevator, yeah. And it's like there's water dripping down all over the place, and you're in there with about 30 other dirty guys, and covered in whatever,
everything.
And so that's where.
How long did you do that for?
Did it for about a year.
Yeah.
And Brenda and I got engaged, and I said, "There's no way I'm going to stay here and have a wife and kids and mortgage and all that stuff." So I left that job and then went on to a few others.
What was your next thing? Your next adventure?
I worked with NBTEL.
Okay.
Did like line construction, like putting in poles and running lines. Did that for a while, and then I got into the car business after that.
Very good. Do you have any like brothers, sisters, anything?
I have one brother. Yeah, I have one brother younger. His name is Greg, and he's my dad was a truck driver, so my brother's kind of following his footsteps. He's doing the same thing. Yeah.
There you go. So he drives it, you sell them.
Yeah, well, his are bigger than I saw.
Those big, gigantic trucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did you meet Brenda at?
We met in high school, so we
High school sweethearts.
High school sweethearts. Yeah, I took her on our first date. Was to my prom.
Straight up.
Yeah, so it was good.
That's good.
She's hung around ever since.
Yeah, you didn't scare her away.
I tried.
Tried everything.
Yeah, I gave her lots of opportunities, but she hung in there. So yeah, she's a trooper.
How many kids you got?
Two boys.
Yeah, 2 boys. Who's your favorite one?
Well, I like the things about both of them.
No, just tell me right now. No, honest here. That's cool.
They'll find out whenever they read my will.
Yes. Oh, that's awkward. Well, whoever's sitting with you right now, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Where did you guys go any vacations growing up? Or something you guys did?
Yeah, we did. We did quite a few vacations growing up. We did mostly summertime stuff. We went to Shediac and rented a cottage pretty well every summer, or PEI and rented a cottage every summer. That was kind of our thing to do. And then we would go south in the winter, and we did a lot of sports type vacations. Justin especially, but both boys were into basketball and hockey and whatever. And so we tried to do an annual trip to Toronto or wherever and see a few games. We did like a boys trip, and we did that for a lot of years. We're trying to get back to do it again because course, they have some boys now too that are into sports. So we haven't quite got it together. There's too many people in the mix now.
So many.
Yeah.
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 What about you, Justin? Where'd you come from?
So I was born in Miramichi, but grew up for about 8 years in Littleton, so close to where my dad grew up, and then moved to Whitney and finished my schooling in NSER, and then went off to Dal actually after that. So spent 4 years or 4.5 years at Dal with their co-op program in business, and so really enjoyed it.
What was some like highlights in school for you? NSER. Was there the highlights at all happening there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the part I loved about NSER is you knew everybody, not just the people in your grade. You knew almost the entire school.
Yeah.
And so it was a nice to know who people were. Like Dad said, played lots of sports growing up, basketball, baseball, that kind of stuff. And then, I liked oratory and that kind of stuff. So I did a lot of those oratory competitions.
What's oratory? Would that be like?
Public speaking and stuff. Yeah. So that was a big part of my childhood growing up, probably from grade 5 till grade 12. I was kind
Straight up.
I was involved.
Drama too.
Drama.
We gotta get you on the stage then on Sunday mornings. Get there preaching. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I knew you did good at business meetings up there. That's why. Oh, I didn't realize that. Oratory.
It's a lot of practice and a lot of training as well. Dad really pushed us. We did the Dale Carnegie program multiple times, and we were always kind of pushing to improve our skills at that kind of stuff. So that was a big
So
part of it.
why was this such a big thing for you, Hal? That something your boys would do.
Well, I think it's important to be able to, carry on a decent conversation, and especially in the type of business that we're in, and you need to push yourself past your ordinary limits sometimes, and so those kind of things are helpful. And we do a lot of training. We bring in a lot of coaches into our business too to work with our teams and work with our managers, and so I think it's important to keep learning and growing, and so that we've always kind of adopted that into our daily living or weekly living or whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
So you went to Dow to do some business stuff, yeah?
Yeah, so I went to Dell and took business with a major in management and a minor in marketing.
Okay.
And so, I loved Dell. Wasn't sure I wanted to be in the car business, so tried a couple other things in my co-op terms that weren't the car business and realized this was what I like to do. So,
Like how long have you been doing the car stuff for?
Me, I got in the car business when I was 21. So
Oh, even forever then.
forever.
during a vacation.
Yeah. I took. I was working at the mines at that point in time.
You're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done working, getting cold lunch.
Yeah. So the friend of mine called and said, "Hey, you ever think about getting in the car business?" I said, "No." And he said, "Why don't you come try it for a few weeks and see what you think?" So I took my vacation. And I went and tried it for a few weeks, and then I went back and
Like selling cars or something like.
yeah, it was kind of a combination of things at the time. He was in the used car business, so he was buying cars in Montreal. So we would get on the train on Tuesday night, wake up in Montreal on Wednesday, go to some auctions, buy vehicles, and drive them home, and then clean them up and sell them. And so it was a little bit of everything. So kind of a jack of all trades at that point in time.
So when you're 21,
I was 21.
just a young pup.
I was a baby.
Just a young pup. And so what did that trajectory look like for you, like until you started doing where you're at now? Because you're not just doing that.
Yeah, so I got into that. I get into sales, and then I moved into sales manager position later on after about 7 or 8 years in the car business. And then at the 10-year mark, I got the opportunity to buy a store that was bankrupt. It was a Mercury store. So Ford had two divisions at that point in time, Ford and Mercury, and the Mercury store went bankrupt, and we ended up buying it, and then just went from there.
Went from there.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you took them right over there. So how many would you have now, do you think? You probably know.
Yeah, we have 3.
You got 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. And Justin, you knew like at what point were you like, maybe I should start working with my dad here and stuff like that? Was it?
Yeah, so I mean,
Did you have your own track you wanted to go on? You're like, my dad's he's doing really well, stuff like that. Were you like, I see myself working with him someday, or were you like, I want to do my own thing? Or
he pushed us a lot not to work in the car business. I remember a lot of trips to. We lived outside of the city, and so when you come into town once a week to go for the groceries or go out to supper, that kind of thing.
once a week, I go in town, make that 30. I go there. Yeah.
It used to be once a week, and now I'm at the grocery store 5 days a week. So
Kids, man, it's crazy.
But no, so we'd be coming down, and we said, oh, we'd like to sell cars or be in the car business. Dad, like, do something else. And I think he was pushing us to do our thing.
Do you think he's afraid that you're going to take over the business, like rob it from him?
No.
You think that's why?
No, that's the discussions we have these days. That's,
Yeah, they're trying to rob me.
but no, a lot of it was about just doing our own thing, finding our own path, right? And so he didn't push us towards that. Even when there's an automotive school in Ontario, I interviewed with them, Dad and I went up and visited, and just wasn't sure at the time that I definitely want to be in the car business. So like I said, I did the program at Dell because it offered a co-op. It offered me a chance to try other things.
Yeah.
And I worked for a construction company and just realized, like, this makes no sense to me. This is not what I want to do. And I like dealing with people. I like knowing or having my hands in lots of different parts of the business as well. And so I think we like to have a little bit of control over what our outcomes. And so I felt like working for myself was probably the way I wanted to go. And so we had a partner at our Mazda store when I finished university, and our person that did our accounting was moving to Alberta. And so Dad's partner called me up and said, hey, if you're interested, this is a position available, and we'd love to have you come back and start there. And so I started doing accounting for about 15 months. I spent most of my day out front with the sales team and with the sales managers and that kind of stuff. And then spent most of my evenings, because I was single and no children, doing my actual job for 4 or 5 hours a day.
Okay.
Between 5 and 10 o'clock at night kind of thing.
Very much more felt like you need to be with the people.
Yeah, that was the only thing at the time. So.
Where did you meet? Because you're married. Where did you meet your wife at?
Yeah, so Patty and I met, so Corey Matchett, who plays drums here, and then Lori Matchett, his wife. Patty was working for Remax with Lori. Corey was our sales manager at Mazda at the time, and they set us up on a blind date.
Come on.
Yeah, so we went to Boston Pizza for a blind date, and then went and watched the movie Hot Fuzz. And
What's Hot Fuzz? What's that one? Is that the Cops the one? Is that
British
What?
cop comedy kind of thing.
Okay.
And so yeah, we went to watch that movie, and yeah, I guess the rest is history.
How old were you guys when that happened?
We have been together since 2007, so 18 years. So I guess I would have been 22.
22. Okay.
And Patty's a little bit older than myself, and so Lori told her I was older, and they told me she was younger. And
What's the age difference? If you don't mind.
3 years.
Oh, 3 years. 3 years. Not
So not too bad, but
too bad. Not too bad.
But at 22 and 25, I guess at 25, Patty especially was thinking longer term, and I was 22. And
You're like, yeah, this is fine.
we're going to date.
Let's go on a date. We'll go blind date with this girl. No, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so
Well,
yeah, and it was the first of the summer, so we had golf trips planned and concerts planned over the summer, and so we kind of came and went, I guess, over the summer, and then we got a little bit more serious as the fall came, and I guess the rest is history.
Rest is history. And you got how many kids you guys got?
Yeah, so we have 3 kids. We have Kira, who is 10, and she was born in 2011. No, sorry, 2015.
So
I was close.
this is way out.
2011, we got married. 2015, Kira was born. And then we planned to have a second child. And so in about 2016, 17, Patty and I started talking about having another kid. And we planned on 1, and we ended up with 2.
With 2.
Yeah, so we have twin boys.
Twin boys.
Hadley and Caden, yeah.
Hadley and Kate, very good. And when you guys get married, 2011?
2011, yeah.
So it'll be 15 years for you guys next year?
Yes,
Just like me and my wife. That's exciting. Let's go do a cruise together.
I don't do cruises.
That's exciting. So you got some twin boys there, and they're into some sports too, are they?
Yeah, the boys are really busy. They're into any sport. They would play every sport that will let them play. They would love to play basketball. They do play soccer and hockey pretty religiously, and then they play baseball right now as well. But soccer and hockey is kind of where their real excitement comes.
And pickleball last night.
And pickleball now with my mom.
They want to play pickleball, yeah.
Pickleball.
Their grandmother is into pickleball. Oh, yeah, she's into it big time.
She's a pro.
She seems like she would be a pro at pickleball.
She's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
And
What does she do? So she's pickleballer. What else does she do?
she exercises a lot. She goes to the gym like every day, like 5-6 days a week. And,
Well, you just like sit on the couch, eat potato chips.
I do, yeah. Yeah, we have different.
Right, we'll go for me too, there, Brenda.
And now she's playing golf. She's started playing golf, so she keeps busy. She nonstop. She shops a lot. She's a professional shopper.
Oh, that's good.
And she hangs out with the grandkids a lot. So we're not bored.
Pretty active
We're
grandparents.
not bored at all.
Yeah.
No.
You guys got a beautiful cottage too. Up, I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, actually up where we grew up. So up in the Littleton area. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a couple meetings there before. Really,
Yeah, well, that's right too. Yeah,
really
yeah.
good spot up there.
Yeah, we love it up there. We spend a fair bit of time.
Try to, yeah. It's kind of a little tougher, but
Mostly fall and winter we spend time up there, but flies are too bad in the summer.
I was just gonna say, like, they're bad where I'm at. I'm just picturing them be
No, don't go there in the summer now.
but it ruins the whole experience.
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah. What's been like a core memory that you guys have together? You two right here, not Josh, not with Brenda, just you two. Not like a bad one. Don't think of like a tragedy, a PTSD one. I don't want like this crazy trauma.
My best one would probably be Dad won a trip to a Blue Jays game in 1992, I think.
92.
So probably one of his first years with the Ford store. He won a trip with Ford to a Blue Jays game.
How'd you win that?
I don't know. I was just good at my job.
This is good. I just sold 55 cars. My mom's good there.
I don't remember the details of it, but I remember the trip though.
Yeah. The Toronto game, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, so I took Justin with me, and you would have been what?
9 or 10.
Oh, 9 or 10. That's
Yeah.
cool, yeah. And a few of the guys took their kids that time, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good time.
Who won the game? Toronto won that one, you remember?
I don't even remember.
No, but just remember the experience going up there. Yeah, you guys drive up there? Or just
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that for me too is like, there's a few of them, but Josh would have been around as well. But like those weekends that we did with the sport weekends, and they were a lot of fun. It was good. We just the boys, and we ate pizza in the room and watched basketball when we weren't at the game. We sat in the room and watched. It was usually in March Madness. And
Oh yes, Bears Madness time. Yes. You guys Duke fans? What do you guys? What's your favorite?
I was.
Were you? Yeah. Did you ever you got two boys? Did you ever want the girl, or did Brenda want the girl? She's like, I'm
we
good.
we did want a girl, and we just never got on the same page at the same time.
Sometimes that happens.
That's how it goes.
So now you gotta love the granddaughters. Got the biggest personality I think I've ever met. How old did she say? 9 or 10? She said 10. My gosh, man.
She's 10, yeah. So yeah, I got my girl, which is good. So she's a lot of fun. We have a great relationship, her and I.
She's clearly the favorite, Nate.
You asked her if somebody I know. It's like, no, I have zero assumptions. I would assume that's.
I will never say that out loud.
She tells lady dude.
Look at him. Look at him.
Oh dear. Yeah, she's a lot.
Yeah. So you're pretty active in the community too. Both of you guys are. But I guess I saw on the Facebook that you got awarded something for Miramichi. What is it? King of Miramichi or Shea Miramichi? Something like that. I don't remember exactly.
That's Freeman of the city.
Okay.
And I had to Google it to see what that meant and what privileges you get for that.
Yeah.
So there's something online about it. It started in London, England, I guess.
Okay.
And at that point in time, you had the privilege of taking your sheep and goats across the London Bridge, right?
Yeah,
You could walk them
We're
across.
talking. What is this?
True story. So this is when it started.
Okay.
And what was the other thing? You could carry your sword through town without having it in a sheath.
yes.
Awesome. You should go with a sword.
So I was a few years ago. I don't know what the privileges are now, but anyway, it's
cool.
nice actually.
But like I see, I see your guys is always representing the city. Like, you guys are always doing stuff. You're pretty heavy in the community and stuff, which is
Yeah, we've
easy.
always believed in giving back, and so we've always wanted to be involved in as much as we can possibly be involved in, and of course we sit on different boards and committees and try to take some different leadership roles in the community. So yeah, it's good, and I think it's important to give back. I mean, we serve the community, but the community serves us as well, right? I mean, people trust us with.
Yes. It makes a difference. Like it does. Like I know when it comes to like anything to do with cars or anything to do with businesses, when you have like a personable, when there's a face to the name of the organization, it helps you feel as a customer going, okay, I trust these people. You know what I mean? Because you're not just like it's not like a big Walmart or something like that. This is
Right.
This is being run by the.
Yeah, it's a small town, so your reputation is right out there, right?
Yeah. You really? You don't. There's no.
If it goes bad, like everybody's gonna know real quick. So
Yes, that'd be the biggest thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I know when I moved here from St. John, that was a big thing. Like coming here and like this is a different world. You know what I mean? Like the amount of times I've showed up at like businesses and there's like a post-it note saying, "Hey, we're not here. I'm walking my dog." It's just a random thing. I'm like, I don't know where I'm at right now. I just want to get a pizza.
Exactly.
But the one thing I noticed the most was like, I would say the car dealerships, how personal they were, and then when I started hearing the names, putting the names, the faces to the names, it was like, oh, that makes sense, and that makes good business and stuff.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see yourselves going with your business? Like, you got your boys here. Eventually, you're gonna be passing them down to. Is Josh involved with this at all, or is it just Justin?
He is. Yeah, Josh is in this as well. Josh is the director of sales for our 3 stores, and Justin is more on the fixed operations side and all the financial side of things. So they both have their
Very
different roles.
those are very important roles.
And
What do you even
for me,
do? You just
I'm trying to stay home more. That's my goal. No, I'm not really involved in the day-to-day operation anymore. I'm doing some coaching with some of our team members, especially our new team members, and trying to train our managers to do things the way we want them to be done, and mentoring the boys there as much as I can, and like I say, hanging out with the grandkids. So I'm really on the way out of the business.
like you must. I was wondering where you'd be at on that.
Yeah, it's time for me to do something else. So we like to travel. Brenda and I like to travel, and we're both still pretty healthy, and so we can do some of those things. So we're trying to do more of that.
Yeah. Where does she have is there like a bucket list where she wants to go to?
She has several buckets. She's got a lot of buckets. But yeah, we spend quite a bit of time down south in the wintertime in Florida, and we're trying to do more of that. And we're going to go on a trip this fall somewhere. We haven't picked it yet, but we're working on it. So yeah, just stuff like that. And then we do like a lot of weekend stuff and just go somewhere for a few days at a time and that type of thing.
I always wonder how, because you always hear stories of families and businesses and stuff like that. It doesn't always end up really well, but it seems like you guys got a pretty good working environment. I'm sure you have your toughs and stuff like that, but like it seems to be pretty healthy. Or am I gonna?
We fight sometimes. Yeah, it gets pretty rugged some days.
Usually times a month, for sure.
My wife and I, we worked at when she was in Swiss, she was in university, so she worked at Swiss Chalet.
Oh yes,
and so like I asked the manager if I could just work there with her because I never saw her, so I was a waiter with her and stuff like that. And we don't work well together. We all like it's fine. We're like doing our thing, but like it was a time where she was like in the back room, she's telling me what to put on the plates and stuff like that. It was just not a good day. So like we would never be able to run a business.
So we brought Brenda into our business back a number of years ago. She had retired. So Brenda's background is in finance.
Okay.
And our accounting. And so our accountant got sick. And so we brought Brenda in to help out. And she was there about a week, and people stopped asking me what they wanted done. They would go to Brenda.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, she took right over almost immediately. But yeah, it was.
Is she still there?
No, we had to get rid of her.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We decided to stay married.
Yeah, like it's tricky. You gotta have. I think some people can do it.
Well, one of the things we did, I guess, we all our family discussions were turning into business discussions as well.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We established once a week. Josh and I and Hal would meet, and we'd have our business meeting at work. And so it really eliminated the evening discussions of work, the vacation discussions of work. Okay. Work discussions happen at work now. Okay. And so that was really helpful. We had to establish that. That's probably been 6 or 7 years now. We, like Hal said, we've worked a lot with coaches as well to make sure that we have established plans and people are in the know, and we try to keep it straight.
Well, that's good because they could probably become overwhelming. You know?
Yeah, so
it's like Christmas vacation, like let's talk business.
Well, it was Sunday dinner mostly. We have lunch together almost every Sunday after church, and so it kind of became our tradition. And work would roll into that discussion. Then of course our wives are there and our kids are there, and they don't want to hear about it.
They don't want to hear that stuff.
No, so we had to draw the line in sand, so to speak. So,
and you've been doing that for a bit now.
For quite a while now.
Yeah,
probably 7 or 8 years.
Oh, so it's been a while. So that makes a difference. Then.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Because you just never know. Like I'm just curious from my point of view how that looked like.
Yeah, and like Hal said, I call him Hal. I call him Hal during the day for the most part. At work, it's Hal, and at home, I call him Dad at home. But
you probably do you appreciate that when he does that? You're just like one of the boys, one of the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's important. It's a really tough line to walk too. I mean, when you have your kids in your business, I mean, we changed his diapers at one point in time. So now it's like, okay, now he's my partner basically, and And it's different. It really is. And, I respect the way that they do things, because they're taking over the day-to-day operation. And the way I used to do things is different than the way him and Josh want to do things. And so you have to accept that and move on. And so it's challenging by times.
Yeah. But you're making it work.
We argue, yeah, we do. We're allowed to have our own opinions, right? Yeah. And we always agree that whenever we leave the room, whatever's decided is decided. It doesn't matter who wins the argument. We're not really looking to win the argument. We're just trying to come to the right conclusion.
Right? You want to move forward.
Yeah. So, but it's challenging with family.
Yeah. It's challenging. But you're probably glad you have family with you doing this thing.
Some days, yeah.
Some days. Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, guys, listen, I just want to thank you so much for just taking the time. I'm sure you guys are both very busy guys, but just to take the time to sit down and just have this conversation, and to remind everyone here that, every name has a story and every story matters to God.